Hello and welcome to News Round, a recap of stories that made headlines during the week. Coming up, members of organized labor picket offices of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission and distribution companies nationwide over the hike in electricity tariff. And President Tinubu commissions 3 gas infrastructure projects in Imo and Delta states to enhance the supply of energy. And the EFCC arraigns former CBN governor for approving the printing of 684 million naira notes at the rate of 18.9 billion naira. I'll begin News Round with members of the organized labor picketing the office of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission and distribution companies. That's the DISCOs over the recent electricity hike. They're asking for the immediate reversal of the tariff increase. The NLC president, Mr. Joe Ojero, who's led the workers on a protest at the headquarters of NERC and the Ministry of Power in Abuja, warned Labour will continue to resist the hike in electricity tariffs if government fails to address issues in the power sector.
The Trade Union Congress, TUC, and the Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, alongside their various affiliate unions, stormed the headquarters of the Nigeria Electricity Regulatory Commission in the Central Business District area of Abuja, chanting and singing. The president of the NLC, Mr. Joe Ojero, lists Labour's demands.
Next, should change their own policy of increasing tariff. Unknown to some of us here, next policy of increasing tariff is based on inflation and the value of the currency. So if NEC, with what they have done now, they have created inflation, they will still go back to increase tariff because of inflation, which they created. Can you see how people are benefiting from their own wickedness? Right. So, comrades, we are here to make this statement clear that we are not just saying don't increase tariff, don't increase tariff. You can't increase tariff for nothing. Nigeria should work with the movement, labor movement, to see how we can improve the power being generated today.
However, the leadership of the NERC did not show up to address the workers, which further escalated the protest, leading to the workers forcing their way into the premises. Finally, the chairman of the NERC comes down to address the workers.
We have listened to you, we have listened to the concern of Nigerians, and will make adequate case and representation to the policy side on the issue of affordability of tariffs. The Commission has issued a number of orders on capping estimated bills by all DISCOs, limiting how much they can bill you. But I think on a more on a better news for the Nigerian consumers is that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has approved the presidential metering initiative, giving deadlines to meter all customers in Nigeria. Any distribution company that bills you above the caps issued by the Commission, report to our forum offices, report to our office here, and we'll do the needful.
The workers then moved to the Ministry of Power, where they insisted that the minister address them. However, the minister was away at the Federal Executive Council meeting. Dele Omoyeni, Channels Television News.
And the labor unions also picketed distribution companies in Lagos and other parts of the country over the hike in electricity tariffs, calling for reversal of the decision. They also condemned the disparity brought on by labeling of the different bands for electricity consumers.
In Sokoto State, northwest Nigeria, leaders and members of organized labor marched to the office of the Electricity Distribution Company to register their displeasure over electricity tariff increase. According to the leaders, the hike in tariff at this time is nothing but an attempt to stifle Nigerians.
The main purpose of our coming here, we are not happy, or we didn't agree with the increase of the electricity tariff. That's why we are here.
In Kaduna State, members of the Trade Union Congress TUC and Nigeria Labour Congress NLC are not left out as they picketed the headquarters of the Kaduna Electricity Distribution Company located in the state capital in line with the directives from their headquarters. Carrying placards with different inscriptions and singing solidarity songs, they kicked against what they described as segregation by the electricity sector through class differentiation in tariff allocation.
When you are going to do an increase in whatever supply you are giving to the nation, you're supposed to call the stakeholders on board to make meaningful decisions and way forward. But unilaterally, PHDN decided to hike the price of electricity in Nigeria. We say no to that, and we are rejecting in totality. We are saying that they should revert back to the normal price.
And in Lagos, members as well as the leadership of the Nigeria Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress at the office of the Ikeja Electricity Distribution Company to register their grievances, ensuring that the premises is under lock and key. Their move is in solidarity with their counterparts across the country to protest the hike in electricity tariff, harsh economic situation, and epileptic power supply.
The picketing is about the hike in the electricity tariff. And we can also see that government has also created a different platform for the rich and another platform for the poor. So that the rich, it's affordable for them to pay hike in the electricity tariff. For the poor, who is going to give us the money to pay for this new tariff?
Organized labor and some civil society organizations in Ibadan, the Oyo state capital, also joined their counterparts across the country to protest the hike in electricity tariff, epileptic power supply, and other economic policies they describe as an unequal to progress of Nigerian masses.
Already we are enjoying epileptic supply of electricity. Now they are saying we still have to pay more for what we are not enjoying. We are here today, enough is enough. They should please let the poor breathe.
And this place is going to remain off from now until this government reverses policy.
In Rivers State, South Nigeria, members of NLC and the TUC shut down the headquarters of the Port Harcourt Electricity Distribution Company in Port Harcourt, the state capital, over the recent hike in electricity tariff. Chanting solidarity songs, members of organized labor sealed the PHED premises, preventing staff of the disco from accessing their offices. Speaking to Channels Television, the NLC chairman in Rivers State, Alex Agwanwo, says the recent hike is discriminatory and will further impoverish Nigerians.
That tariff is a discriminatory tariff, and it's not acceptable. So we are saying no to it. We don't accept it.
Still in the South region, but this time in Delta State, organized labor picketed the office of the Electricity Distribution Company in Asaba over the increase in electricity tariff, as they asked the government to reverse the tariff, as they are also demanding an end to the incessant power outage in the state.
The organized labor, TUC, NLC, is saying that they should go back, reverse it to what it used to be, and now follow the
as labor unions across Nigeria troop out to express their displeasure over the recent increase in electricity tariff nationwide, it is hoped that the government will heed the call of the unions and call for dialogue in order to resolve the issue and give Nigerians a pocket-friendly electricity tariff.
And Nigeria has recorded another milestone in its quest to fully tap its gas potential with the coming on stream of 3 critical gas infrastructure projects. Speaking virtually while inaugurating the 3 projects, which took place at the AGPC gas plant in Imo State, the president says the project will significantly raise the country's gas supply and boost economic growth.
The president,
It's the commissioning ceremony for 3 gas projects recently completed in Delta and Imo states. These projects are the result of a partnership between the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited and its partners, Sterling Oil Exploration and Energy Production Company Limited, and Seplat Energy PLC. The three projects, located in Asa community in Imo State and Kwale in Delta State, aim to increase gas production and boost supply to the CNG and LPG domestic market in the country. President Bola Tinubu attended the event virtually, joined physically by top government officials from both states, community leaders, and the management of the petroleum companies. While welcoming everyone, the Minister of Petroleum Gas outlined some of the benefits of the projects.
It is a joint venture between NNPC Limited and SEPCO. It's developing the AHL gas processing plant, which will process 200 million scf of gas, of premium gas, in addition to processing over 160,000 metric tons of propane and 100,000 metric tons of butane annually.
Representatives of the partnering companies appreciate the federal government for the support and promise to ensure the projects succeed.
It represents a significant leap forward in our quest as Nigeria continues to be a leader in the global energy sector, ensuring we meet domestic needs and global market demands. Mr. President, this plan stands as a testament to what can be achieved through sound partnership between government and private sector.
If all of the gas from this plant went into the power sector, it would produce enough electricity to transform the lives of over 5 billion people.
The state governments also commend the federal government for situating the projects in their states.
This will not only boost our energy security, but also stimulate economic growth, create employment opportunities, and improve the standard of living for our people.
As we commission this project today, may I sincerely thank all that are involved, the contractors of the project, for completing it on record time, and the good people of Asa Ohaji in Imo State for all their collaborative efforts to see the dream come true.
The Group Chief Executive Officer of the NNPCL says there's a strategy that ensured the projects were completed in good time.
Mr. President, currently NNPC is executing a compressed natural gas project aimed at providing a cleaner fuel to power our vehicles as a cheap alternative to the premium motor spirit. We are also pleased to mention that in line with the just announced presidential directive on the purchase of CNG-powered vehicles by institutions of government, and in furtherance of the overall objective of broadening CNG as an alternative fuel for automobiles, NNPC deploys CNG delivery installation in all our retail stations across the country.
For President Bola Tinubu, this is a testament that Nigeria is open for business and more will be done to encourage more investments in other sectors.
I wish to assure the Nigerian people that indeed this project represents only the beginning. The federal government is stepping up its coordination of other landmark projects and initiatives that will ensure the earliest possible realization of gas fuel for prosperity in our country. Equally, I wish to assure investors in the energy space that this is an investment-enabling government, and we will not relent in our effort to facilitate the ease of doing business in Nigeria. We continue to review ourselves and listen to our partners.
The cutting of the tape and unveiling of the plaques followed at both venues.
The AHL project is much more than the economic gains it has in store.
These projects are expected to provide the much-needed supply of gas to power millions of homes and businesses across Nigeria and drive economic growth in the country. Lanre Lasisi, Channels Television News.
Welcome back to Rivers Politics. Now, the Rivers State Governor, Siminalayi Fubara, has announced a plan by his administration to set up a panel of inquiry to the governance of the state. The move is the latest twist in the political crisis rocking the oil-rich state. Governor Fubara revealed the plan after swearing in Mr. Dagoro Iboroma as the new Commissioner for Justice and Attorney General of the state. During the swearing-in, Governor Fubara admitted that the state is in a critical situation and accuses political opponents of deliberately sabotaging his administration.
When I said that I had a reason for being patient, it was because I know that we are all from one family. And if we have a disagreement, no matter how bad it is, it should be resolved. But it has become very clear that this disagreement, there is no headway to it. And for a lot of reasons, there are very, very visible evidence that there is sabotage, deliberate attempt to sabotage this administration. For that reason, we have to move forward. Yes. And moving forward, if it means taking decisions that is going to hurt anybody, I'm happy that you're already a son before coming in. It means that you must have been a thorough man. It's not the one that while you're here, they now pay money to give you sand. When you become the son, the only thing you do is to sabotage government. Like I said, you will get your reward, not in this world, this world. Let me also say this. You have a big tax. As it is today, in the local palace, they said the jungle has matured. We will be setting a panel of inquiry to investigate the affair of governance.
The governor used the opportunity to respond to comments by former Attorney General of the state, Professor Zacchaeus Odango, and his counterpart in the Ministry of Works, Alabo George Kelly, following their resignations from his cabinet.
If in 2010, I was a chief accountant level 13, those of you who know the civil service, where will I be before 2023? So when you see people, because you want to impress your paymaster, you talk carelessly. I won't reduce myself to that kind of talk. Yes, I am the only governor in this state that, in the whole federation, where local government chairman will come and abuse, I take it. But I wish them well. I wish them well because even if it's a mistake, by the special grace of God, I'm here today. Yes. God doesn't make mistakes. Not a mistake. And let me also appeal to them. Let them continue to make mistakes.
Meanwhile, the Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Mr. Nyesom Wike, says he is more committed to carrying out his duties in the EFCC rather than being distracted by Rivers politics. Mr. Wike said this during an inspection tour of some of the ongoing road projects in the EFCC slated for commissioning by the President this month.
This is the last road inspection tour the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Mr. Nyesom Wike, will undertake before May the 29th, when President Bola Tinubu would mark his 1 year in office. Some of the ongoing road projects, as well as the Vice President's residence and the Metro Rail Station, have been slated for commissioning by President Tinubu to commemorate his 1 year in office.
By the approval of Mr. President, we believe that from 27th of this month, we shall start the inauguration of the various projects. And particularly on 27th, we believe the President will flag off the commercial operation of the metro line. So we're happy, and the contractors are meeting up. And all the promises made, they have fulfilled, and we have also fulfilled our own part by making sure that we have cash backed up.
The minister also gives reasons why streetlights are not functioning in some parts of the FCT.
Most of the projects we're doing, you don't expect the lights to be on now. All they are doing, they are just running it. So sometimes most of the streets you are talking about are those that are being worked on. We believe, by the grace of God, we believe that before the commissioning date, you will see most of the lights will be on. So we can tell you that with good authority.
Reacting to reports of being distracted, Mr. Wike asserts that he's more committed to his duties in the FCT.
I'm not distracted. If I'm distracted, you won't see this performance here. I focus on my work, so I'm not interested. I'm the Minister of FCT. The works are going on, so why would I be distracted? If you are distracted, how would you just be going? So I don't even think about it at all.
The clock is ticking to May 29, 2024, when the President Bola Tinubu would mark his 1 year in office. On the part of the FCT minister, he has given assurances that some of the ongoing road construction projects, as well as the metro station, will be commissioned by the President on the said date. From the nation's capital, Kumbi Aboluade, Channels Television News.
And to other matters now, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has arraigned the former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Mr. Gordon Emefiele, for printing 684 million naira at the cost of 18.9 billion naira without the approval of former President Muhammadu Buhari. Mr. Emefiele was arraigned before Justice Marian Anene of the Federal Capital Territory High Court on a 4-count charge, of which he pleaded not guilty. Justice Anene subsequently granted him bail in the sum of 300 million naira, with 2 shorties in like sum who must be residents of Nigeria and owners of properties in Maitama District, Abuja.
The immediate past governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Mr. Gordon Emefiele, is back at the Federal Capital Territory High Court, Abuja, for a third arraignment. This time for allegedly approving the printing of 684.5 million naira at the cost of 18.96 billion naira. Part of the charges leveled against the former CBN governor by the EFCC includes: in count 1, he was accused of approving the printing of 375,520,000 pieces of 1,000 naira notes at the cost of 11 billion naira. In count 2, he was accused of approving the printing of 172 million colored swapped 500 naira notes at the cost of 4.4 billion naira. In count 3, the former CBN governor was alleged to have approved for printing 137,070 pieces of colored 200 naira notes at the cost of 3.4 billion naira, all without the approval of the board of the CBN as well as then President Muhammadu Buhari. In count 4, he was alleged to have withdrawn the sum of 124,860,227,000 from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation in a manner not prescribed by the National Assembly. He pleaded not guilty to the 4-count charge leveled against him by the EFCC. His counsel, Mr. Mahmood Magaji, then applied for his bail, drawing attention to an earlier bail granted by Justice Hamza Muazu of the same FCT High Court, Maitama. Ruling in the bail application, Justice Marian Anene admitted him to bail in the sum of 300 million naira and 2 sureties in like sum, who must each possess titled property within the Maitama area of the Federal Capital Territory. Justice Anene ordered the defendant to deposit his travel documents with the court and should not travel outside the country without the permission of the court. These bail conditions are similar to the ones earlier granted Mr. Emefiele by Justice Hamza Muazu, another judge of the High Court of the FCT, under who he is being tried on another criminal charge.
Bail conditions are discretionary to the court, and it is under the inherent powers of the court. A court must ensure that it gives conditions that will compel the accused person to attend the court proceedings to answer his charge. So, well, you see that the court have taken judicial notice of other proceedings that are pending in other courts and the charges too. So, I think we are good.
Justice Marian Anene subsequently adjourned the case till May 28 for commencement of trial. Emanuela Ekele, Channels Television News.
And to end news round, 4 people have been killed after thunderstorms hit southeast Texas. Powerful storms also knocked out power to nearly 1 million homes and businesses. 2 people died as a result of the fallen trees and 1 from a crane blown over. The storm has now moved on to neighboring Louisiana with flood warnings in the place for the Gulf Coast. And that's News Round for the week. Thank you for watching. I'm Ladi Williams. Bye for now.